What's going on? Thanks for checking out my next video on how to draw. And also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you like if you want to see more videos like this. Now for this video, I'm going to be drawing the Prehistoric Warrior Pickle from the Baki Hanma Series. And if you've seen this, if you read the manga, you've seen Baki and all the other fighters in the book fight this extremely powerful, muscular character that's supposed to be kind of like a caveman that had frozen over, and they thawed him out. And of course, in the Baki series, everybody pretty much can fight, so the one thing they're going to choose to do is try to fight this character, since he practically fought dinosaurs and is on kind of like a whole nother level. And so right now I'm doing the typical method that I normally do for drawing poses and drawing figures, where I'm placing the cylinders and circles. And as you see, I place the circles for the shoulders, circles where the knees are, and I put the circles where the knees were first before I start to overlay and lay in the legs, because I was kind of just measuring out and figuring out where each of the parts of the body is going to go, following the reference that the artist had drew. And right now I'm figuring out where the twist goes and how the arm is behind the leg is over the arm. And even though you see the pencil going through the arm, you have to kind of use your eye to figure out where things are going to go, rather than getting confused as far as where like this, because there's so many lines going on, and you want to make sure that your eye knows where everything is. Because sometimes you lay the inks in, and then once you get to the inks, you may end up putting the inks over the line where the line's supposed to have been behind something. So right now I'm just detailing it some more, adding in more muscle detail, trying to get in the feet and all his claws for fingernails. And this particular character, when you see him in the book, he's always extremely muscular, and it's just, I mean, there's so many muscles going on in his body that there's even muscles in places where there isn't. Our muscles wouldn't really be thick in that area unless you're seeing skin without muscle at all. And since these characters obviously are pretty super lean and ripped, you'll just see muscles all over the place, even in their faces and their chins. But that's the way the artists draw, and that's the style I like, which is why you see most of the videos with me drawing this particular style. And I'm getting in the hair and the inks in with the brush pen. Now I'm always using a brush pen to do the hair, so you can get that fine point. And the brush pen I'm using right now is the Copic brush pen. I have different types of brush pens, but the Copic one I like to use the most mainly for doing hair and doing other just freehand practice poses, like 1 minute 20-second poses or drawings, if I'm just using just the pen. So right now I'm defining the shape even more with the pen. Sometimes when I'm using the pen, I may change some of the pencil lines. When it may be going one direction, and I may want to change it and go to a different direction with the pen, depending on the situation of what I'm creating and what I'm trying to do. Now again, I'm adding in the hands, defining the feet, adding more muscles. I think I added in a little bit more muscles just to give him a heavier build, that caveman look like he's, and even in the book, I know the book showed him fighting T-Rexes and all kinds of little dinosaurs before he ended up in the ice cube, kind of similar to Captain America, and them thawing him out. And he has this weird thing where I guess each person he fights, he considers them prey, and when he ends up when he beats the warrior or fighter that he's fighting, he wants to eat them the same way he would a dinosaur, which is why a couple of fighters, I think he ate one guy's arm, and it's pretty crazy. But he also respects what he eats too. So right now I'm getting in the rest of his hand. Now I'm doing the method I normally use when shading, which I always go through that base shade, that main base coat. And I might start eventually at some point doing some color pieces just to see how I shade those. But the reason why I like to go across the majority of my pictures with grays, I think I mentioned it before in my other videos, is because when I usually go digital with my colors now, at least with most of my stuff, and it's easier with Photoshop to change the gray tones into colored skin tones in Photoshop. So it's easier to just go across it with my typical grays with the markers or paints, and then take it to Photoshop or to my iPad on Procreate and just change the tints or whatever to make the color change, which is kind of like a faster flow for doing color, at least for me. And I may do some traditional ones with my markers and my color pencils. So right now I'm just overlaying, just layering it. That's the thing about using Copic markers. You can just, well, at least with these particular ones, the Winsor & Newton brush markers, I'm just going across, overlaying, layer over top of layers, and just make sure you have the right type of paper for it, because you don't want that cheap paper where you're just overlaying layers, and then next thing you know, the paper is getting real wet to where it's just start picking up, or you end up putting a hole in it, or the ink would start going through to the bottom onto the table. You always have to make sure you have that good paper. Like this paper, I think this is I had a Copic paper before, but I don't think this is Copic. I actually forgot what the brand this was because I had a pack of them and I kind of threw the bag away. But I just go to the store, make sure I find a paper that has a mixed medium, and I just use that. And that's it for this video. Want to see more videos like this? Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. All right, take care.